rank 12 on hard.
So I've not played a ton of PoE 2. Let me just bring up my Steam. So I've only played 48 hours of PoE 2. But I have played 400 hours of PoE 1, right? So this is so stupid. It's, to anyone who's played any Path of Exile, it's so fucking obvious that he's faked playing the game. But it gets so much dumber after this video.
I have a lifetime of playing video games. At one point I was, maybe one of the best Quake players in the world.
You're
Everything that he says about video games now, actually, frankly, everything he says about anything where he's like, I am great at something, is actually just up for question. He's a pathological liar. I like Elon, don't get me wrong, but he really has a big ego. Did he say top Quake player? Yes, he did. He said he was a top Quake player.
actually like a world-class, incredible video game player.
Yeah.
Paragon board and the build, you're also an innovator there.
Yeah, I've played a lot of video games.
You think about like StarCraft, any game where a lot of people
Pat the head, pat the Rogan.
are playing. To rise to the top, you have to be exceptional, period, as a human being.
Yeah.
There has to be something exceptional about you.
Yeah.
Are you in the top 20 in the world or the top 20 wow, in Diablo?
Yeah.
That's not even that. That's the fun thing, right? I don't even know if his Diablo playthrough is fake. Or like his Diablo build is fake. Because Diablo 4 is so fucking easy. No one cares. No one knows and no one cares. Because it's Diablo 4.
Shooting rockets into space, making e-vehicles, starting a new department of the government.
We love
I
Duncan.
actually let myself think maybe he actually is an alien, because
He could be an alien. That's true.
there's just no way, unless he's paying people to do it for him, which obviously he's not.
Obviously not, Duncan. Obviously not.
So let's start off with some context.
Okay.
Elon Musk's character is currently level 97.
Was level 97. It's not anymore.
AKA rank 12 on hardcore, that's permanent death mode,
Mm-hmm.
trade league. Let me try to give you a quick understanding as to how hard and
How's the audio
it is
level,
to
by
get
the
to
way?
that level. 2 weeks into the league, when people are playing the game, literally they're staying up 40 to 50 hours without sleep.
Yeah. This is like, these are the like psycho hardcore players. If you are at 97 when Elon was at 97, you had to be doing nothing but playing PoE 2.
Only playing Path of Exile, and they are the most try-hard guys.
And these are guys that had experience in PoE 1. Like, these are like, your hardcore 700 hours a league player.
In the world, the highest ranked player on the hardcore trade league was level 93. Okay, and you're thinking about yourself, that's kind of close to 97.
No.
Every time you level it up, it becomes exponentially harder to gain experience. A lot harder and a lot harder. Okay, so these players, to get to 97, had to be playing the game every day for the majority of their day.
Yep.
Currently, what is their highest ranked player? They're level 97, same as Elon Musk. So
I don't know what it is now, actually. PoE 2 hardcore leader ladder. Let's see. What is it now? Has anyone hit 100 yet? I actually don't know. No. Is it still the top person? Yep, same top person. They are at... It's still... Oh, wait. Okay, hold up. This person here who was in 5th place before has now moved up to 2nd. And there's another Korean player in here who wasn't even on the list before who's moved up. A lot of these players I think might have died or stopped playing as much. Yeah, it looks like some of them might have died, actually. Ha! Sucks to be you. Fucking 500 hours down the drain.
I mean, he's effectively has been playing pretty much just doing nothing except playing Path of Exile. So let's just go over some of the things that happened. So right away, we see Elon zone into his hideout, which is the area you do in-game content from. And he opens up...
Let's have a look at this layout, actually. I'd question this layout as well. He's just got all of his NPCs just, like, thrown up in a corner. What a lot of people end up doing is making, like, your NPCs a circle around you. That's not a sign by itself. People do their layouts differently. Why would you play hardcore and risk losing because you hate your life and you want to waste 400 hours of it? That's why. I don't understand. I don't understand hardcore. I don't play hardcore. Yeah, it's cringe. Yeah. Anyway.
Turn into his hideout, which is the area you do in-game content from. And he opens up his bank and he goes to a tab called Elon's Maps.
Do you know why they're called Elon's Maps? Let's just hover over some of these.
His bank.
Okay, so there's a tablet. Let's see. Do you hover over any of them? I want to see one of these. Show me one of them. Okay, just hover the tablets there. So what do we have? So 73% more monster life. Monsters have 50% increased area effect. Is that 3% monster elemental resistance? And monsters have 25% chance to bleed on hit. That is the only slightly scary mod. Everything else here is like, this is a dirt simple map. Like, this is a map where you actually have to be a moron to die on. Players curse temporal chains. Players have 50% increased... monsters have 50% increased area effect. Bleed on hit. Less recovery... That could be scary depending on the build, but most likely is just nothing.
A tab called Elon's Maps, which immediately is a little bit of a red flag because I don't know why you would refer to yourself in third person, but okay.
I don't know. Elon's a weird guy. He could do that.
He does that. Elon Musk didn't play Path of Exile 1. In Path of Exile 2, maps are actually called waystones.
Yes.
And he never actually refers to them as maps. He calls them...
Play another round here. This is a hard level. Waystone.
So it's just kind of weird that he's, again, called this tab Elon's Maps. So almost like someone who's a Path of Exile 1 veteran, you know, is kind of making that tab and be like, Elon, you know, there's a tab there called Elon's Maps.
I do wonder who's playing the account. Because you have to be someone who's very experienced in PoE to get this far this quickly. It's not just a matter of hours. It's also a matter of understanding the game. I want to know who the fuck did it.
Grab your map out there. I've rolled them all for you. They're nice and easy. He then proceeds to walk up to his map device and go to put a map in. The literal first thing you learn upon getting to the end game is how to operate this map device. You're going to start off at a node, and then from that node, you can go to adjacent.
I wonder how much Elon also paid for the person for that job. Now, just keep in mind, this is like 300 hours over 2 or 3 weeks. So, you're playing non-stop. I want to know as well.
Connected maps. Now, Elon, he's trying to click.
Oh, he's trying to do the map that's not in the chain.
He's just clicking a map repeatedly, trying to access it. He was not eligible to enter that map.
I just want you guys to understand, this is one of the highest level hardcore characters in the game. He would have played thousands of maps at this point.
Anyone who's level 97 is... And you know, we're talking one of the most efficient players in the game, period. There is no way you would...
This is an actual... This is an actual, like, no-lifer, even though he's not as high level. Let's just watch that again.
97 is... And you know, we're talking one of the most efficient players in the game, period. There is no way you would do that. Why just like sitting there like some sort of geriatric old man clicking this node expecting something to happen, and then he finally kind of gives up after a while and then realizes his mistake. We then get a look at his inventory. So Elon Musk is stuck going.
Yeah, this is the right here. This, I think, is the most damning thing.
Going into the map and with full bags. If you're an efficient player, you're going to clear a map, you're going to loot the valuable items, you're going to go in, and you're going to take those items, and you're going to basically look through the good ones, keep the good ones, list them up for sale, and then truck away the trash ones.
Which
It's
is most
almost
of them.
like he has no understanding as to like what items are or what you're even supposed to do with them. So now Elon zones into the map.
So what I'm doing here is just boosting my shield before battle via meditation. Meditation before battle is always good.
And he starts killing monsters. He starts obliterating monsters
To be fair, he has a super juiced build.
with his character.
But also, there's this right here. This right here.
But what becomes obviously apparent.
Chaos Orb, no loot.
So, okay, two things here. Firstly, at a high level in PoE, you use what is known as a loot filter. Because a lot of the loot you get in PoE is literal garbage. Like, it's not even worth seeing. So you filter out loot that is just bad and never want to look at it. Now, Chaos Orbs, these are... In PoE 1, these were the main currency. PoE 2, they're a lot rarer. So this is like your... More like your premium currency. You never leave a Chaos Orb on the ground. This is incredibly valuable.
Filter is like, he's just running past Chaos Orbs. He just ran past the Chaos Orb.
Chaos Orbs are one of the most important currencies, and they're also really rare. I have about 140 Exalts. I have like 9 Chaos Orbs, just so you guys understand.
So in Path of Exile, the devs are these evil guys, and they talk about feeling the weight, and they effectively just drop tons and tons of items, and you have to know what to pick up. So what GGG have done...
Yeah, this is normal Path of Exile gameplay. This is PoE 1, not PoE 2. But... yeah, this is what happens when you don't... Well, okay, there is a loot filter here. They've just turned it off to demonstrate it. But also loot filters will highlight the things that are like that you really care about, like this rusted divination scarab, this awakened sextant, things like that, so you don't actually miss them.
The people who make the game, they've made this system called loot filters, which gets rid of 90
and the
to
divine orb,
95,
yeah.
even in some cases, like we're talking 98% of all loot that drops, because otherwise your screen is just cluttered, and you won't even notice when you get a good drop. It's unfathomable for someone to be in the top ranks without loot filter.
In PoE 2, less so, just because there's just less things that drop in PoE 2. However, you still want one. I once turned off my loot filter in PoE 1, it crashed my game. Yeah, there's also that problem. If you play Magic Find, even if you don't play Magic Find, you have a shit PC. But if you play Magic Find, and you turn off your loot filter, and you're in, like, T15s, or now T16s, and you're playing a real juicy map... You know, you don't turn the loot filter off.
Yet Elon Musk, the god gamer, he doesn't play with a loot filter.
Nope.
The only thing Elon does pick up are maps, because the default in-game loot filter highlights those. Those things are worthless. The actual items of value that he should be picking up, that he would have had to pick up in order to get the gear, leave it on the ground. Anyone who's been playing the game and is a complete expert, we're talking he's cleared thousands of maps. He's been playing that character for hundreds of hours. He's going to be pretty damn good at, playing the character. He gets to the boss. He's fighting the boss.
Yeah, this is the wildest part.
And I want to say for about 10 seconds, he sits there and he's out of mana. Mana is a resource in this game.
This orb down here.
Where you need it in order to use your abilities. He just sits there, default attacking the boss without activating his mana flask. Anyone who's played the game and understands the character would understand, like, oh, I'm not doing any damage because I'm out of mana. Elon Musk takes 10 seconds. He then goes on to loot items off the ground. He starts dragging them into his bag.
Oh, yeah, this part. Oh, yeah. Also, I don't think he picks up the T2.
He then goes on to loot items off the ground. He starts dragging them into his bag. Like, I don't even know how to describe.
Right. He also went into the map with a full inventory. So all of these, like, weapons and armor pieces, he didn't find these in the map. These were in his inventory. PoE 2, so PoE 1, you get 6 portals into a map. You can, like, go back and forth a couple of times. PoE 2, you only get 1. So, 1. You get 1 portal. So you have to make sure you pick up everything you want, and you don't have anything extra in your inventory Otherwise, you're just wasting space, and you're just gonna find something you can't pick up.
How painful that is to anyone who actually plays the game.
So also another thing, in PoE, if your inventory is closed and you click on an item, it automatically goes in your inventory. He is sitting here with the inventory open.
I don't even know how to describe
dragging the items in.
That is to anyone who actually plays the game, and his bags are full, and he just keeps clicking it over and over and over again. Nobody, not even people who are kind of noobs at the game, do this. I don't even think Elon Musk has done the campaign, honestly. Like, just based on what I'm seeing in terms of the game.
Nope.
His settings on the map transparency are turned on by default. His life values.
Oh yeah, that as well. Yeah.
His settings on the map.
Yeah, seeing the like terrain on the map, which is useless to see.
Transparency are turned on by default. His life values are turned on. All these basic settings that.
Yup.
Transparency are turned on by default. His life.
So, by default in PoE, for some reason, it doesn't show your life and shield or your mana amount like as a number. It just shows you this orb. You turn this on. You don't leave this off. There is no reason to leave this off.
Values are turned on. All these basic settings that anyone in the top 100 would do, he is not doing. Maps can effectively have different content on them, and that content will be signified by icons on the map.
Yep.
So it could be a map which has an expedition in it, a breach in it, or it could be corrupted. Elon starts looking through the atlas, and he finds a map with, I kid you not, 4 things on it.
There are 4 things there. So this one has a
Yeah, Elon, what are those things? Is this a breach? I don't know. Could be anything.
real risk of dying.
4 things.
Finds a map with, I kid you not, 4 things on it.
There are 4 things there. So this one has a real risk of dying.
4 things. What are those things?
God, dude. 4 things. It's 4 things, dude.
So this one has a real risk of dying.
far in the game and calling it 4 things. Stop, bro. Dude, stop.
Like, each one of these things isn't by itself that crazy. The problem is all of it. All of this at once. That is the real issue. If you say 4 things, if you drag things in weirdly, if you don't have a loot filter, you don't, like, use your mana, yeah, all of these by themselves, no issue. It's every single thing at the same time.
Oh my god, I literally can't.
Like, I've ran past, like, currency as well, but, like, the rest of this is crazy.
He then goes on to say, oh, kid you...
This is max difficulty on hardcore. There's a
No.
way to get higher difficulty, I don't know what it is.
No, it's not.
This is everything maxed out.
It's not even
Exile
close.
has boss fights and end-game bosses, which are quote-unquote difficult battles, which Elon actually did do
Rip
in one
Steel.
of his streams, where he just went into the end-game boss and died repeatedly
Oh yeah, you have to stand in the orb, by the way. And you would know this if you had fought the boss before.
to it. Maps are just farming. You go into maps and you farm them for loot and experience. They're not the most difficult battles, and I don't know if he's trying to deceive people watching a stream into thinking that he's doing some insane...
Okay, to be fair, that one was fucked.
And I don't know if he's
So this time, he stood in the orb,
trying to deceive people.
but the Arbiter did his laser as well at the same time. So you want to be standing down here. But to be fair, that one I will grant you, like that one makes sense as a fuck up.
Watching a stream into thinking that he's doing some insanely hard thing whenever he's literally doing something you do to effectively grind or farm. And if you thought this was bad, I did not even get to the worst part. In Path of Exile, gear has requirements to equip
Yep.
it. But that has nothing to do necessarily with how good it is. For example, one of the most powerful and best items in the game is a level 1 required to equip staff, which is maybe, I think, even the most meta build in the game right now.
Yeah. When we're talking, especially uniques, so this is stupid. So basically what you do is just stack stats and don't worry about anything else. And you just melt through things. So every 5 int, increased area effect, every 5 dex, attack speed, every 5 strength, weapon damage. So you just raise these stats, and you just bonk things.
It's super, super broken, insane damage. And Elon Musk starts going over his gear.
This is a great staff, but it's only a level, 62 staff.
His weapon is, I kid you not, one of the best, if not the best staffs on the entire hardcore trade league.
Yeah. So this has attack speed, 177% increased physical damage, and adds physical damage. This is a ridiculous staff. I don't care that it's, the level 62 base. This is a stupid staff.
You cannot even buy it. Insane weapon.
These affixes are, I'd hate to say perfect, but they might be perfect.
Just the PDPS criteria on trade, we can see there's literally one staff in existence on the entire market. Not only does Elon have a staff that you can't even buy, but it's so good that second best one, which is missing 2 of what makes.
Oh, also, this is 20 divine. So this staff that is like, so 20 divines are like the top tier currency. This staff is probably like, I don't know, maybe like a 40 or a 50 divine staff. Like, this is like a chase item. This is like almost best in slot. Depending on the build, maybe some of these aren't great. Maybe you'd want to have something different to accuracy. But like, this is almost a BIS item. The only thing that would make this better is if it has like a higher weapon base, which would make the stats better. But like, even so, even just as this is like a 40 or 50 div item.
Same
Staff in existence on the entire market. Not only does Elon have a staff that you can't even buy, but it's so good that second best one, which is missing 2 of what makes a staff so powerful for an invoker, which is the crit and crit bonus, is still 20 divines, and that's obviously very expensive.
Here I am, like, level 95, but my staff is only level 62. my helmet
This is how you know he's looking at this from Diablo perspective. In Diablo, gear level matters. It does not matter anywhere near as much in PoE. It can matter, especially like going through a campaign, but once you're at endgame and you've roles like this, shut up.
level 56.
Int, lightning, and chaos resist. Okay. It's only 56.
Amulet level 61. Ring is only level 48, 49. At least a level 75 jacket.
It's a jacket with 6 things.
Wait, what was actually on the body armor? Okay, sure, okay. Evasion rating, maximum energy shield, evasion and energy shield. The dex roll could definitely be better. 30 life per second regen, 36 yeah, this is not that great. Shut the fuck up.
Jacket.
It's a jacket with 6 things. Yeah, tell us how bad the item that only drops from the highest difficulty of the hardest boss. Just tell us that it's only level 52. Did you find this at level 52? That's impressive.
Level 52 here.
They can only ever be level 52. Bro, Elon Musk is a fucking fraud, bro.
Pretty low level compared to my character level, but it seems to work pretty well. In softcore, you can get much better equipment.
In order for him to have insane gear, he has to understand.
He's not wrong. In softcore, you can get better equipment because there's more people playing the game. But like, that gear is wild. Even in softcore, like that's crazy gear.
Economy works. He has to be basically trading.
Anyone who's played Path of Exile to the end game in a trade league knows that you have to trade in order to obtain what looks like some of the best gear pieces in the entire game. If we look at some of these player accounts, we can see what they have for trade. 700 plus items for sale, multiple divine items. You can see hundreds of divines worth of listed items. This is also someone from the top 10, ranked number 4, focus here, worth 50 divines alone. This is the number 1 guy. You can see he's hundreds of divines, again, worth of items, multiple mirrors, all these players. If we go to Elon's account, he's got only 21 items for sale, and they're all absolute garbage. It's clear he's really not making much money, or any money at all. So something I did notice last week, I did the same.
Is he RMTing his currency? I don't know. Maybe, possibly.
Search because I was curious what he might have been selling, And I grabbed the screenshot, which I shared to my Discord, and it's this really, really, really crappy crossbow for 18 divines.
What does that mean? That means real money trading. That means buying currency with money.
So why is it listed for 18 divines, and where did it go? Is it possible he vendored it? Yes. Why was it listed for 18 divines? I don't really know. I don't want to fuel any conspiracy theories, but I have been made aware that RMT, typically, they use legitimate listings that are far overpriced, and that is how they mask the transaction as legitimate. So if he were to buy 18 divines for, you know, $100 or whatever, he could have done so through this listing.
And if you needed any more proof that Elon is 100% boosted, he was playing the game today inside of maps, blasting, while simultaneously on a...
Granted, I could believe this from Elon. I could believe this.
Space, talking to like some far right-wing part of some German government. I don't know, some political bullshit. Okay, I guess he's just that much of a god gamer.
Oh yeah, also he died. Yeah. Yeah. Now, following this up, let me just show you the fucking follow-up to this, because it gets even dumber. So let's go to Twitter. Let's go to my profile. Go to my likes. Where is it? So, he's been, like, trying to, like, joke about it.
So one of the questions was, am I going to comment on the Chinese driver of my Path of Exile account? Yes. His name is Elon Ma, and he's amazing. I rely on him for everything.
So, adding to that, he's also been trying to call out, like, Asman. So, Asman behaves like a maverick independent, but in reality, has to ask his boss for permission before he can do anything. He is not his own man. And then just straight up leaks DMs he had with Asman. I'm going to see if my editors might want to make a second account for it even. So, Asman talked about how if Elon can prove that he, if Elon can prove that he actually played on the account, he will stream on Twitter for a year. And after this stuff, like, decided to delete these DMs. So that second account would be the account he streams on. Sure, who are these mysterious editors? Two guys, Diasmongold and Cat Danny. They basically run the entire YouTube account. So basically, any content I post is uploaded or edited by them, and they get a cut of the ad revs. It's super good system, to be honest. Almost everyone on YouTube does it. So Elon posted this as like some slam dunk, thinking that, Asman can't like post things by himself. He has to go through his editors, and he thinks that Asman works for his editors, not the editors are hired by him. I don't understand how you are like this out of touch with what is actually happening in the world. How you think you know what you're talking about, and why you're doubling down. Why you're doubling down when everyone knows you're full of shit. Yeah, he's looking at the word editor as if it's like a media outlet editor. So if you have an editor of a newspaper, the editor is basically the person who decides what is published. Like, the editor is basically the guy in charge. He thinks editor on a YouTube channel means the same thing. Jesus Christ. I love it. I love it so much.